Hey guys, Alex out here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV here in Kansas City. Custom Hauler Trucks on Facebook. Guys, we're coming back to you with our part 2 of Laredo versus Bolt comparison. Last time we did a comparison video on the beds, the exterior, so on and so forth. Today, we're going to do a little more in-depth on the insides, on what Bolt has to offer versus Laredo, a few pros, a few cons of each, and let you see hand in hand, side by side, what these are going to look like. So in this video, we're going to do both front seats, then we're going to do both back seats. That way you can kind of know how we're going to work in this video. That way, if you don't want to see the front seat, you just want to see the back, you can fast forward and check those out. So that being said, we're going to start here in the front seat of a Bolt. Guys, the biggest things that you're going to see in a Bolt is all of them are pretty well the same. We don't change too much on the inside. If you've seen one Bolt, generally you've seen them all. That being said, we are moving forward with them, trying to get some different seat textures, seat changes, so on and so forth. As you soon will see in the Laredo, that's not the same over there, but right now we will take a look at a few of the features it has. The Bolt is very clean, simple, nice, leather-styled seats. They are super comfortable. Lots and lots of give in these seats. Pros and cons. Pros, as soon as you sit in this seat, it feels like a lazy boy seat, guys. It immediately grabs you like a glove. The con to this would be later on down the road, it may not hold up as long. You hit the 120,000 miles like any other vehicle, you're going to start to tell that the seat is broken in a little bit. It's a pre-broken in seat. It is a print stamp machine built seat. Moving across the way, we have the custom center console here. Now, actually, this is one of the pros that I find in this truck that everybody wants. Everybody wants this center console for multiple reasons. First, starting out is, look how nice it is. It's big, 5 cup holders, the centerpiece here that holds loose change, keys, phone, whatever it may be, all right here. Also, as we get in, lit lit cup holders here. Guys, these are super nice at nighttime, super cool for a show experience. You pull up, your cup holders are lit up, super cool, super nice. Also noticeable in the center console are all the USB charging ports. In these trucks, guys, the 23, 22 model years, they did give us a few more on the dash. However, Bolt took it next level. Everybody's got an iPad that's charged by USB. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody's iPods, earpods, whatever they may be, are charged by USB. Super nice to have all these charging ports to run all your technology right here in the center console. Also, you control your overhead LED lights and your stereo. And what I mean by LED lights. So Katie, if you would, pan up real quick. Guys, in the ceiling here, all of the trucks, Western Haul that I offer, Western Hauler, Laredo, Bolt, they all have lighting here in the ceiling. Now, Laredo and Western Hauler are known to have the more clear, yellow, ambient style lighting in them. The Bolt has an RGB type scenario where it can be red, green, blue, and every color in between. All ran with this button right here. You can do presets, you can change the color, you can strobe, it can zone in and out. So when you show up to your car show or your rodeo or your boating event, whatever it may be, you can turn it into a complete interior show as well with this. Blue lit cup holders. Currently, these lights are on red. Like I said, they can change to any color to match what you're doing. That controls the LED lights right there in case you don't want them on. Stereo. What this does, this button, a lot of folks don't like the bass. All of my manufacturers put a pretty banging sound system in these things. But some folks don't like the aggressive subwoofer bass. At the click of a button, you can shut the bass off and just have the bass from the normal speakers rather than the big booming subwoofer. Also take notice, in the Bolt here, Alpine speakers are all in the ceiling. Now I like that for a couple reasons. One, Freightliners, especially the 23 and below, are all known to have a little bit of wind noise coming from the windshield. So you're not fighting speaker sound down here in the door like a normal vehicle. It's right here. So to have nice, clear, great sound, it's coming right here over your head rather than having to turn it up and blare it so you can hear it decently. Another neat piece that we'll talk about just as we're talking about sound. Guys, the Bolt offers the Alpine head unit here. Currently, I have it set up on my CarPlay. That's Apple CarPlay. If you guys that have the newer vehicles know that you can do messages, phone calls, you can use all your GPS apps, all of it right here at the touch of a button. It's super nice to be able to not have your phone, and it's wireless at that. My phone's not even connected to it, but it's all showing up right here on the dash. Super, super nice setup. As I said before, once you've seen one Bolt, generally you've seen them all. So I'll go over the dash here to let you see that the carbon fiber is a kind of a dipped wrapped around the trim edges of the truck and around the grab handles on the door. One thing that I really like that Bolt does with the back, the back part of the dash, is they actually cut out a piece of stainless as the backing for the dash. Rather than paint or keep the factory cherry wood, they do a complete stainless cutout. I think it makes it look clean, industrial, just gives it a new age look that everybody's, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, BMW, Mercedes, all the nicer, newer vehicles are all going to like the carbon fiber look, which is what they've done here. Stainless, nice wrapped dashes, gives it a nice, newer, clean look, and you get away from the Western style, which is super nice. Guys, like I said, there's a lot of features on these things, different from Bolt versus Laredo. This is a real standard, real nice, clean looking interior. This isn't your wild type interior. This is more of your your mild. So that being said, we're gonna jump over to the Laredo, take a look at that, and see what Laredo offers for interior as well. All right, guys, now that we've transitioned from the Bolt over to the Laredo, we're gonna take a look at what Laredo has to offer. Now, we talked about mild and wild. Guys, once you've seen one Bolt, like I said, you've seen them all. That's not the case with Laredo. While the chassis, horsepower, all that kind of stuff are all the exact same, chassis length, wheel size, tire size, that's not the case with the interior, and that's the reasoning for different pricing or different upfitters and what they have to offer. Obviously, you have to choose the one that best fits you, and that's the reason for the video, to show pros and cons of both. Here we are in the Laredo. This is more of a wild scenario, guys, in the Laredo. The Laredo, starting with the seats, because it's the most noticeable. It's what everybody first looks at. Guys, these are not a magazine bought, off the internet bought seat. Frank down there, he works for Brian down there at Laredo. He is a master at interiors. The guy is crazy, crazy good. Both Katie and I have toured his shop there, checked it out. There's another video when you look at refer back to the Laredo video when we toured the Laredo shop. Frank down there, he had all of it hand stitched, hand molded with foam, cutting the molds, so on and so forth. These seats are memory foam inside that last a long time, instead of the cheap foam that do get used out of the box store seats. These are a little more firm to get started, but they last a lifetime rather than wear out sooner than later. But in this seat, we had options. This one is the honeycomb pattern with black stitching. Guys, that's the benefit of doing the custom truck with Laredo, is you get to kind of pick a few of the patterns that we have, whether it be honeycomb, whether it be diamond tuck, whether it be exotic ostrich or gator. We also have the option to use different threads, different stitching, different colors, all the above inside the seats. Now this is the new style seat. Inside the new style seat, Laredo also offers a different style of pattern down the center in this same mold, or you can still go back and use the bucket style seats. We just did a bucket style seat on a truck that we did a custom build for a customer. I'll post some pictures here in a day or two of it, but it was a champagne color truck, and we did the old style bucket seats for that customer, and it still looks great, works great. Your choice when we custom build one. Now, the seats are the biggest thing that attracts the eye. Let's go to the center console here. Now, Laredo center console is nothing to shake a stick at. It is the tried and true black wood, nice center console, flip up center console, tons of storage space in here that you don't get from the Bolt. Now, I will say the Bolt center console, in my mind, stands out a lot more. But it's one of those things where you choose what you want based on the upfitter. You don't get to mix and match, unfortunately. This is super clean, super nice. I like that it's raised up here. Everything's a little more at your hand rather than having to, stretch down for it. Things I don't like is there's no USB charging ports in this. The only USB charging ports that we have in this truck are literally here in the dash. Now there's 4 of them there, and then you have the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto set up for the Stinger head unit. Now as you see, the Stinger head unit is very comparable to the Alpine. They are transitioning to wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Currently, it's set up to where it has to be plugged in through your USB right here. But it does have the ability for Apple CarPlay. I use it in here. I use the Bluetooth all the time in these trucks. As a lot of you guys know, I travel a lot with these trucks. In and out of Dallas, Indiana, moving them to shows, delivering them to customers. I put a lot of miles in these trucks. So the Apple CarPlay with the Stinger head unit, Alpine, I don't really have a pro or con on Stinger versus the Alpine head unit. I do like the wireless version better. These are transitioning to it. Bolt's already made that transition, but the wireless is the way to go. Now they both use Alpine speakers. That being said, Bolt uses the little more generic Alpine speaker, whereas Laredo ups it to the Alpine Type S speakers. Now, they do put the Alpine speakers in the door panels down here. They hand cut those in right behind the grips, handles on the door. A little more protection, but they are on the door. It looks a little more conventional. That being said, take it to the ceiling. Guys, we have a suede headliner. It's not your normal gray. It's not a vinyl looking center console up here. You have, like I said in the other one, the standard yellowish white mood lighting, or as Brian at Laredo calls them, pimp lights, throughout the console here. In my opinion, it's a little more clean, nicer, more luxurious on the inside. A little finer finish, in my opinion. Suede, super nice. That's an upgrade. Black wood all throughout the ceiling in this thing. Super nice stuff, guys. Moving to the dash now. On the other truck, we noticed the carbon fiber wrapped edging and the stainless background, or I'm sorry, the back paneling. The back paneling on these trucks are either the cherry style wood, which comes factory from Freightliner, or they pull them out and actually use automotive grade paint to paint the background here, sand it, paint it, and polish it, so on and so forth, and give it that nice clean black background. Now, the edging here is still real wood, guys, and they still use screws to put that in. That is real wood. It's not cheap, chintzy stuff. It's not been wrapped. It's a nice, in my opinion, little more luxurious upgrade rather than just dipping it and throwing it back on. I like a few of the finer finishes, but that's my preference. Both of them offer black steering wheels with the chrome centerpiece, chrome horn. Once again, all the trucks, guys, are going to have the electric windows, electric locks, air brakes, glad hands plumb to the back. They may not be pushed through, but they're going to have that. All the main features of the truck are still going to be 360 horsepower, 1150 torque, so on and so forth. But the purpose of these videos is to show you the main differences when people are like, well, what's the difference here? What's the difference here? Interior is giant. This is where you get your bang for your buck on your Laredo versus where the toolbox and stuff on the bed of the Bolt is where you're bang for your, that's where your money comes in there. So like I said, guys, pros and cons to both. But let's jump in the back. Let's check this out real quick. We'll check the back out on both, a few of the benefits, pros and cons there, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, here we are in the back seat of the Laredo. One thing that I didn't point out in the front that Katie's gonna hate me for real quick here is the doors. All of the doors on the Laredo have the nice black piece, leather wrapped all the way around, and nice leather wrap handles here as well. Guys, the Bolt has the the dipped carbon fiber look to them, and it looks clean, but it just doesn't have that luxurious feeling that the Bolt has on the, the Laredo has on the inside. That being said, Laredo back seat, slightly contoured here in the center to give a little bit of individuality, but not too much that when you lay this thing down, and I'm not gonna lay it all the way flat so we don't pop the seat belts out, but it does lay down flat, that it won't bother you if you are laying down flat. Seat belts do suck in behind so that you can lay flat. They're not gonna sit there and hit you, so on and so forth. Guys, this last trip that I took from College Station all the way to Houston, all the hotels were sold out at midnight when I tried to stop. I had to take a little siesta in the back of a brand new truck, and I was able to lay across this fully stretched out, and I'm 6'2". I was comfortable and I made it happen. So that gives you the idea of how much room you have to lay across here and be comfortable if you do need to stop at a truck stop somewhere along your route and catch a little nap before you keep on going down the road. So noticeable features, we do have the black carpet in the back here, a nice black kick plate, little storage here in the center console for the folks in the back, and you have cup holders here for your guests in the back as well. It does lay down flat, seat belts for 3 across, still have the nice suede headliner and black accent pieces across. Guys, this is the Laredo. This is a full custom interior, hand stitched, hand molded on the Laredo. Let's jump over, finish up with the Bolt here, and see what they have to offer in the back seat as well. All right, guys, here we are in the Bolt back seat, and a few noticeable features. One, the carpet's a little upgraded in the Bolt as compared to the Laredo, and they put this nice rug down that protects the floor. Now, we do take the time, and we ordered the WeatherTech mats for the front seats, and we put those in on every truck that we do. We put the WeatherTechs in. However, the back seat, WeatherTech doesn't make a back seat mat for the Freightliners. So Bolt builds one, has one made. It's super nice. It matches the carpet. Just kind of sets it off with that little extra nicer tone to it. Another thing that, while you don't have the custom stitch seats, you do also have the option for heated seats in the Bolt on both sides. left and right. You don't have one for the center, but you do have heated on the left butt pad and the right butt pad, passenger and driver. And that's kind of nice for your passengers that, you know, you're traveling chilly climates. It's right here. Now, take notice in the doors. Like I said, you don't have the leather wrapped here, unfortunately. You don't have the nice wood piece down here, unfortunately. But it is a little simpler carbon fiber, new age look on the grab handles, both the top and the bottom one. This truck also does have the folding rear bed down here. I don't have the key on, unfortunately, so it's not going to activate, but it does fold down just the same as the Laredo, lays flat. Like I said, I'm 6'2", I can lay across here, I can stretch out if I need to stop and take a little nap. Whatever we need to do, it does fold down. They are comfortable. Now, one thing that we do have in the factory Laredo is you do have the factory lights up here, and those are super nice. Bolt has gone the extra way, and once again, I don't have the key on, to add lighting right here, and you can guide it and change it. So you don't have to have this big, massive light on. If your kid or your passenger wants to read a book or look at something, you can just kick the light on. They can aim it towards them. It's not lighting up the whole cab. Kind of a neat feature that Bolt has that Laredo doesn't. Once again, you have the USB charging ports here. That's a super neat piece that Laredo doesn't have, but Bolt does. It's just an added bonus. Now, guys, I don't want you to think I'm ragging on one or the other. Each one has pros and cons. It's just who you choose for the upfitter. Bolt clearly goes a little bit farther with technology than what Laredo does. Laredo has chosen to go a little bit farther with the interior design than what Bolt does. Laredo has chosen to keep it simpler on the outside. Bolt has chosen to give it a little more, keep it a little more busy on the outside. Toolboxes, lack of toolboxes, more bed space, trough space, interiors, shiny versus shiny, more kind of the industrial look versus a little more classic luxury look. Guys, it's just what best fits your needs. Each one, money was placed in different areas so that we could keep them all relative about the same cost. That being said, both of these trucks, guys, are available. The Laredo is the silver one. This Bolt is the slate gray. If you guys have questions about either one of them, currently they're still available, 816-489-8298. Moving forward, if you'd like to do a custom truck, 816-489-8298. I have lots of chassis on the ground. We can plug one into production. We can do a custom build for you. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe to the Transwest YouTube page. Check it out. If you have any questions, 816-489-8298.